So, the Nameless Podcast. It sort of has a name.
Double D.
Double D.
The double down. This will be the worst if I just do this the entire time. Can't use any
We're
of
gonna
this
have to
audio.
get a beard guard.
Yeah, can't use any
Do
of
they
that.
make beard guards for microphones? Yeah. This is for June 2022, and we're recording it on May 31st. So we got it's hot in the streets right now. June is hot in the streets.
Hot in the streets. I like that saying. Hot in the streets.
June is coming up. I'm gonna start with some stuff we already talked about, but maybe we haven't seen.
Okay.
We didn't. I think we were a little low on Top Gun Maverick based on the reviews I've seen.
I mean,
We were both kind of like, it's probably not going to be good, and
it's amazing.
apparently it's the best movie of all time.
I mean, how could we have guessed
Foreseen
that? Yeah. Like, how many Top Gun fanboys do you know? Like, in
in
their 30s. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, zero.
None.
Zero.
Yeah, if I met some guy who's like my age, who's just like, bro, number one movie of all time, Top Gun. No doubt. Schindler's List, number 3. Saving Private Ryan, number 5. Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Number 1.
Yeah.
That's not the guy I want to hang out with.
Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Top Gun.
No, Top Gun, Citizen Kane,
No.
Schindler's List,
Fate of the Furious.
Fate of the Furious. Yeah,
Which is what we're watching
yeah,
today.
the 8th one, not any of the others.
Yeah,
Just the 8th one.
the 8th
Something
one.
about it just really grabs
It
you.
just doesn't for me. Also, Everything Everywhere All at Once is out on digital June 7th. So that counts as a June thing.
It does.
If you hate movie theaters for some reason, see this movie, please.
It's good.
It's awesome. It's really, it's might be better than Top Gun Maverick.
How do you know that? You haven't seen Top Gun.
No, that's why I said might be better. Just two other things that came out in May but are still sort of going on in June. ObiWan Kenobi.
Woo.
I saw the first 2 episodes.
Did you?
Yeah, really good.
I'm waiting to binge it.
I mean, not the best thing of all time. I think probably Mandalorian is still better in terms of Star Wars Disney Plus shows, but Ewan McGregor,
On point.
yeah,
I read reviews
really good.
that basically said for a prequel that was absolutely not needed, was totally unnecessary. They did a really good job. They're like, nobody needed it, but since
it's
they
a sequel
did it,
prequel.
yeah, they did it pretty well.
It's a sequel prequel,
A sequel prequel.
right? Also, last night I watched the first episode of Stranger Things 4, which is really good. It's super like,
You said it was dark.
yeah, I don't remember Stranger Things being quite this violent.
There was some violent parts.
There's definitely some violence, and I think season 3 probably got a little more into that, and I don't remember much of it. It's been a couple years.
R.I.P. Barb. Never
Barb.
forget. Never forget.
Yeah, justice for Barb.
Justice for Barb.
There's some good new characters. They played D&D hard. Like, they leaned hard into the D&D in the first episode of this one. I know they'd done that the whole series, but like...
Is this the
big
last?
time.
Is this the last season?
So, no, I thought it was, but I just read today that apparently they had so much, like, more to tell. Like, when they started doing it, I think they intended it to be the last season, but they, like, sort of got so far that they decided not only to break up season 4 into 2, like, sort of 70% chunks of a full season. So it's like 7 episodes for the first part, and then like 7 more episodes coming.
Oh wow!
And that comes out July 1st, so that's why sort of June, May, and July.
Time is a construct.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's all the stuff. Sort of outside of June.
okay, it's June adjacent.
Yeah, that was June adjacent.
Got
Yeah.
it.
I don't know if you've seen this one, but it's called Spiderhead.
Mm-mm.
So it's Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller, Journey Smollett, who was in Birds of Prey, I think. And it's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who directed the sequel to the greatest movie of all time. He directed Top Gun Maverick.
Which is funny because Miles
Teller's in it.
In it.
Yeah. Joseph Kosinski also directed Oblivion
With Tom Cruise. What a coinky
There's a lot of mixing.
Which, the soundtrack to Oblivion was made by M83, which is a great band.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now I want to listen to some M83. All right, we're going to start with your favorite section.
Sports.
Well, we've already started, but yeah, we're doing sports first.
Yay.
I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here.
French Open. What's going on right now? Ends in early June.
Tennis, right?
Tennis. Nice. Wimbledon.
Ooh.
Also tennis.
Fancy.
Starts in late June.
Fancy
I don't got
tennis.
dates. I don't have dates for that. It'll be on at work. Watch it. I mean, it's on during the day. You might as well watch it. It's good. Tennis. It's worth watching.
Yeah,
good tennis is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
And we got the NHL Conference Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals.
I'm okay with that.
So NHL Conference Finals start tonight, and then once they're done, Stanley Cup will be like second half of June.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey's great. I don't watch much hockey, but I gotta say, Game 7 in hockey,
the best.
it's the best.
It's because the rules. It's the rules that they put into place, right?
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Like the golden goal stuff, it's sudden death basically.
Yeah.
So it's very intense. And then we do have NBA Finals starting in a couple days.
Cool.
So do you know who's playing in the NBA Finals? Do you know one team that's playing?
Golden State Warriors.
Hey, that's one.
That's just, I mean,
And good guess.
statistically,
Yeah, 6 out of the last 9 years.
yeah, statistically speaking.
And the other team is the Boston Celtics.
Oh, I mean,
So who you got, Mike?
I'm
you
going
got?
with Golden State.
Rob does not like that pick.
I don't give a shit.
I actually don't know who Rob's NBA team is.
It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Denver Nuggets? No. Utah Jazz?
Oh, it's the Celtics.
Is it the Celtics?
Okay.
I just like the Utah Jazz because
So I
of
think
their...
you got to cut this part.
If you could start with us starting to talk about Utah and then like skip to us ending talking about Utah. You know, it's like, you know what I think about Utah? Cut it.
All right, go Warriors. That's all we're saying. We got, I like dynasties. When I don't care about the sport or the teams, I'm all for dynasties. I don't like, I mean, weirdly, underdogs in college sports, but dynasties in pros. It's weird.
Orlando Magic.
I'm learning a lot about myself.
Wait, is it the Orlando Magic anymore? Are they the Wizards?
No, Washington
Oh,
Wizards.
shit. On to the next.
Okay.
Unless you find that my ignorance entertaining.
We're gonna go to video games, which is another light month.
It's coming.
We're just waiting for the holiday season, basically, for video
coming.
games at this point. Mario Strikers Battle League comes out June 10th on the Switch.
Mario Strikers.
I'll probably get it, but I can't imagine that I'm gonna play it a ton. Like, that game just brings back some nostalgia from
college,
like local co-op or local like competitive, I guess, play 2-on-2 in college on the GameCube.
It was fun,
dude. It's fun, and this one looks wild. Like, it looks crazy. Like, it doesn't really honestly look like soccer. It looks more like Rocket League.
or like
But with like 10 people.
It's like, yeah, it's like
crazy.
it's like a anime like fighting sim / Rocket League thing.
Like
but wrapped
super
in
shots and it's not FIFA. I'll put it that way. It's very not FIFA.
You're right. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. Alienated. Unsubscribed.
Every time, so there's an Elder Scrolls Online expansion coming out.
Yeah.
And every time this happens, I feel like I should get into Elder Scrolls Online, and I still don't.
I try it, and I'm like, not for me.
Is it just because there's too much emphasis on the social, like
Yes.
the multiplayer aspect of it?
You can play it as a single player game pretty easily, but there's certain things about it that I find not fun. It's like, the kind of collecting quests or like fetch quests, stuff like that. It's pretty heavy on that if you're just playing by yourself.
Right.
But like exploration and like just the size of it is amazing. The one thing that really, for whatever reason, this is just me, but just the way that they do like the hit points and the damage and stuff, it's just, they seem like arbitrary numbers almost. So instead of having like 100 life at the very beginning, you'll have like 36,000 life. Right? and then you'll get
Seems
something
like
that
a big number.
raises your health like 7,100 points, and so it's just like, it just seems very arbitrary and just.
Yeah, I just feel like MMOs are not my preferred game type and like genre of games, but the fact that it's Elder Scrolls, like every time I see an expansion, they like focus sort of on the like story aspects of it, and I'm like, that looks kind of cool. Like, why am I not involved in this? And then I think you're right. I think the mechanics of it kind of are like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I think I would need like somebody else to play with, or several somebody else's to play with.
Well, that's the thing with MMOs. It's like, if you're not gonna dedicate all your time to that particular MMO, then you're missing out on a huge portion of it. Same thing with Final Fantasy 14. Awesome, beautiful game, lots of content. Mechanics are like on point. Story apparently is like, from what I've read, is like the best. Like the expansions and stuff like that is like one of, if not the best, Final Fantasy storyline ever. But the social aspect of it is a huge aspect of it. So if you're not into that, this guy, there's no point. But I think they're trying to fix it where you can actually, there's like a mechanic in it now where you can hire people like NPCs to be in your party, so that you can run those dungeons
without having to make friends.
Right.
Nice. Or enemies.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You don't have to do any of those hotkey like things like, heal me, like I need a healer. What are you doing, you piece of shit?
Leroy Jenkins.
That whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
That's still one of my favorite videos ever.
It's amazing. Apparently it was scripted.
God damn it, Leroy.
Apparently it was scripted. You know that? It wasn't spontaneous.
I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it.
That is maybe one of the most devastating things I've learned in my whole life, if that's true. So I got one that you maybe not have heard of, though.
Ooh.
A game.
Okay.
It's called The Quarry.
No.
Oh.
No.
Surprise.
What genre?
What's
the genre?
Interactive drama horror. So
Interactive drama horror. So
think like Telltale games, like Walking Dead, right? Telltale game, but designed to, or like themed, sort of like 80s horror movies.
Interesting.
So it's 9 camp counselors that get stuck at a summer camp quarry that's around a quarry, and it's all like you make a bunch of choices. Some are super obvious, right? And there's some like spaces where you walk around and explore the area and that kind of thing. You play as all 9 of them throughout the game. A lot of replayability because there's like supposedly a ton of variables that go into how the story plays out. Some choices don't seem super obvious, like in the damn Telltale games where they're like, he'll remember that. I'm like, fuck you.
What did I do?
Yeah, I didn't do anything. All I did was walk out away.
He'll remember that.
Yeah, fuck you. So stuff like that, up to like somebody's like bleeding out and you decide whether you're gonna like leave them there or try to help them. Like super obvious, like stuff like that. So
as long as it's not like The Witcher 3, where it's like you think it's super obvious. It's like, save this person who's sick. And then like you save them, you're like, I feel good about myself. And then later it's like, yeah, they survived, but they're a vegetable and in pain constantly. So way to go.
Yeah, that game didn't do that all the time. It's on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, all the things.
The whole shebang.
Not Switch, because it's too pretty for Switch,
Can't
I
handle
think.
that. Yeah. Are the facial expressions going to be like L.A. Noire?
I was thinking that. I think they're as good, but because it's scripted, they're gonna be less weird.
Yeah, it's like, who's lying?
Yeah,
that guy. You look sad.
Yeah, L.A. Noire was so like the motion cap for L.A. Noire was cool, but like the way it was used definitely led to some like, what is that guy doing? Like, why is his face like?
Yeah,
that?
I'm supposed to be reading like
it's
what
like,
their face is doing and like tell what they're thinking.
I like horror stuff less and less the older I get, because I'm like, I don't need to spend my money to be stressed out. But some stuff like this is kind of cool just to see the mechanics, and It's gorgeous. So that's it. That's all I got for video games.
I got one that you haven't mentioned. Have you already done TV shows?
We kind of touched on one, but I was gonna roll into shows next. Yeah.
You got The Boys on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, let's do. So that's actually first. So that comes out this weekend. Boys
June 3rd.
season 3.
June 3rd, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be wild.
It looks crazier than the first 2 seasons.
It's got the guy from Supernatural.
Oh really?
Yeah, he plays Soldier Boy, which is I think he's a
Is he a
ripoff.
rapper?
No, I think he's a
soldier.
ripoff of Captain America.
Oh, gotcha.
I believe.
Yeah, like Homelander is Superman.
Yeah.
Are supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
And Maeve is Wonder Woman. There are scenes still from the first 2 seasons of The Boys that
Oh yeah.
are just burned into my brain.
Amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's a great show.
Yeah.
It's great. Season 3 is coming. That's everything that's coming out like right about now is like I haven't seen it for a couple years because of COVID. Like all this stuff got delayed, like production wise.
Yeah.
So hard because of COVID. So it's normally where we'd maybe see a season every year, or like spaced out. This has been like it's been fun, especially with Stranger Things, to like sort of just recently just sort of get back into that.
Yeah.
Since it's been so long since I watched it. But same thing with The Boys. Is I really am gonna go probably watch season 2 of The Boys again to get caught up on that, or to sort of get back into it because it looks awesome. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah.
That's this weekend, June 3rd. Hopefully after this gets released on YouTube.
He's nodding.
On Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of superheroes, Miss Marvel actually comes out in June, which
Really?
I had no idea. That one sort of flew under the radar for me.
Yeah.
It's a little sort of young adult, I think, sort of targeted, right? It's sort of young Avengers,
I believe so.
sort of build up,
Yeah.
kind of, right? But new character, I don't know much about her. From the trailer, she's like a Avengers like super fan.
Kamala Khan. I
Yeah,
believe,
Kamala
right?
Khan, and
Yeah.
she gets superpowers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run through some other ones that you probably are expecting, and then I've got a couple that maybe are new, or that you haven't seen. Peaky Blinders season 6
Dope.
comes out. I think it's the final season.
Dope.
That's June 10th on Netflix.
Cool.
I actually haven't watched any Peaky Blinders,
I think I'm on.
which is kind of
You haven't watched any of it?
none of it.
Wow.
I
So,
know.
I
I
think
feel
I'm
like
on-
I need to.
I'm on season 3, I believe. Season 3 or 4. But I mean, that's another one of the shows that just gets progressively better
Yeah.
as it goes.
Yeah, I gotta just sit down and watch that. So, Peaky Blinders is June 10th,
Cool.
Netflix. The Umbrella Academy season 3
No?
is June 22nd.
Not for me, but my wife will love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You not feeling Umbrella Academy.
It was alright.
I like half of the characters.
I like the fact that it
I
was
hate the other
created
half.
by the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
Yeah,
I really enjoy that fact.
And it's a graphic novel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he
so-
created a graphic novel.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's another one that I just I watched all of it and have just sort of spaced on it. And I haven't really thought about it, and so I saw it's coming out. I was like, oh, because they really ended season 2 on a pretty big cliffhanger,
That's what I heard. Yeah.
like huge. So it'd be interesting to see. So I got one more show. I skipped it for some reason, but I had not heard of it. It's called For All Mankind. So it's on Apple TV Plus. It's a sci-fi sort of alternate history sci-fi. It's like a U.S.-Russia space race, but they're going to Mars.
Okay.
And so it's actually the season 3 comes out June 10th.
Is it set in the future or is it set in the past?
So it's set like in the past, I think.
okay. So alternative.
So there was a big time jump apparently at the end of season 2 from like late 70s to the mid 80s.
Oh, cool.
And so I think at the end of season 2, spoiler alert, I think they like somebody sets foot on Mars, and like you don't necessarily maybe know who it was that gets there. I don't know.
That's very exciting. I should definitely watch it.
Yeah, For All Mankind.
Yeah.
On Apple TV Plus. Season 3 comes out June 10th. So it, yeah, I like made a note. I was like, I gotta get caught up on this because And I still haven't seen Severance. I need to watch that. I know
it made me uncomfortable. I don't know, something about it like just was high stress for me. But for my wife, she was like, yeah.
That's among the shows lately that I've been told I have to watch more than any other.
I don't know why it made me stressed out, but it did. It was really good, and it's made by Ben Stiller, like he created it, something like that. And it's really well acted and really well shot, and everything's great. I just like
you weren't
something about like the super gray like office environment. Just kind of, I don't know. It just
made you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Interesting. So this is a long one. We still got movies to do.
Do we really?
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's a tie-in. Remember I talked about Spiderhead? Mm-hmm. That's Netflix. Netflix killing it again. June 17th. Mm-hmm. Chris Hemsworth. Circle back. His wife,
Elsa
Pataki, is in The Fate of the Furious, which we're currently watching while filming this. Yep. She's been in a bunch of the.
She's like the Spanish, or she's like she works for Interpol, I believe, or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she becomes like one of the crew.
Of course.
The family. Sorry. Family.
It's all about
family.
It's all about family.
Don't come for me, Vin Diesel. So she has a movie coming out on Friday after this video is on YouTube, June 3rd, called The Interceptor. It's a action kind of thriller, like military kind of movie. So she's the main character. She's like reassigned from the Pentagon to this nuclear missile interceptor base in the middle of the ocean. It's like the only one.
Oh God!
Right? It's very Australian. Like the person that wrote it is Australian. It's executive produced by Chris Hemsworth. Elsa Pataki is the main character. I don't think she's Australian, but she's married to one. Yeah. And so she has to fight off these people that are coming, terrorists. They're coming to take over this interceptor base so that they can launch nuclear missiles without getting intercepted.
I got you.
By the way, it's called Interceptor.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks,
I'm down.
I feel like I've seen this movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like Air Force One. I don't know why.
It kind of looked like honestly, it almost looked like, because it's like tight, it's like really small sets because they're in a like
underwater.
Yeah, well, it's like out in the middle of the ocean. It looks like a oil rig almost, like with this big ball on top of it, like it looks like the Ep.5 or like a big golf ball on top of an oil rig kind of thing. That's
seems apparently more like a target. If anything.
Yeah. It's like this thing out in you need that golf ball down there in the ocean. Yeah. Let's blow that up. So, and then another surprising one, Hustle. Have you heard of this? Mm-mm. So it's Adam Sandler is a like sort of beaten down old like NBA scout for the 76ers. And he like finds like this sort of rookie or undrafted guy to sort of mentor, and they become like, so it's supposed to be funny and very inspirational at the same time. Sports movie. Could be good.
Serious Adam Sandler role, kind of.
Yeah, it looks funnier than Uncut Gems. Like, no, it's not Uncut Gems.
More like
it's
Punch Drunk Love.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's it definitely is like, it's gonna be like, there's gonna be tears and some inspirational sports moments and stuff, overcoming things. But it's also funny. The trailer had some pretty funny parts.
Okay.
And that's out on June 8th on Netflix.
Dang.
There's Jurassic World Dominion.
The 10th?
Yeah, like I'm like now because of Top Gun Maverick, I'm like, maybe it's gonna be incredible.
But it seems like it's coming out really fast. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's been trying to make this movie for years. I think
for a movie for a franchise that is as big as Jurassic World is, I feel like there hasn't been enough marketing.
Yeah, it just it started recently. Right?
Yeah, I feel like like if this was like Doctor Strange, right? It's like you would have seen ads for this. Like I never saw hey, the trailer for Jurassic World Dominions get launched tomorrow. That kind of stuff like Marvel's doing now.
No, they just started showing up.
For trailers.
Velociraptors just started showing up on everything.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, I got a weird one. Crimes of the Future.
Yes,
Have you seen that?
My wife saw a trailer for it.
Okay.
Like David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
She seemed very interested.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen.
Yep. Kristen Stewart, Viggo Mortensen, and
I don't know who else. I didn't read a ton about it.
Leah Seydoux.
Yeah.
The French lady.
So it's like a futuristic kind of horror, supernatural
Have
horror
you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't watched the trailer.
All right, all we'll say is watch the trailer.
It's weird.
Either you're going to be into it or you won't be into it.
It's also, David Cronenberg made a movie in the 70s by the same name.
Did he?
And this isn't a remake. He's just making a different movie with the same name as a movie he's already made. Weird.
It's David Cronenberg, man. He can do what he wants.
This next one, I'm so torn. It's Lightyear, comes out June 17th. It's Pixar.
Yeah.
So it's going to be incredible, right?
Right. But
is that done? The trailer looks so dumb.
I can't wrap my head around the logic of it.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear's always been a toy.
Not a real...
So...
Like, he's not...
Is this an alternate...
Like, the whole thing in Toy Story is he thought that he was what this movie is making him into, but he wasn't.
Right. So maybe...
So we're now retconning all of that?
Maybe they explain it in the movie. Who knows? But yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's like, what if it's like a Quentin Tarantino and, like, this is a movie that comes out in the Toy Story universe, right? That, like, Andy goes and sees... And that's why he's into Buzz Lightyear and has the action figure.
Right, because
it's not the same voice actor. Right?
No, but because it was Tim Allen.
Yeah, it was Tim Allen. And
now it's Chris Evans.
Yeah.
But yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because of all the Lightyear action figures. In the first one.
He's like he's super like branded right in Toy Story. But
okay.
So Taika Waititi is the voice of one of the characters. So sold.
Yeah.
I'll go see it. Speaking of that, we'll talk about him in July, too, because Thor's coming out. So good.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be better than Doctor Strange. Fight me. So, and then there's two more. I got two more. Elvis, June 24th. So, I think I'm going to go see it because of Tom Hanks. Because Tom Hanks is in it.
Really? That's the reason why?
Tom Hanks is so good.
Yeah, but it just, I don't know. It just kind
of... He looks really weird. Like
he seems like a magical kind of like side character in this. Like,
yeah.
You know, like,
I know. And I...
Puppet Master,
It's kind of why I'm not really super looking forward to it. I really liked Moulin Rouge.
Yep.
Gatsby was not as good.
Romeo and Juliet?
Think. Yeah. So, I mean, Baz Luhrmann is... I mean, I know it's going to be very, like...
Colorful.
Very colorful. Lots of contrast, like very bombastic kind of scenes and stuff like that. And very like sort of, not very realistic.
No.
Sort of, and
magical realism.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. I don't know who plays Elvis.
I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Rap. Right there.
I'll probably see it. I mean,
we'll probably see it here. It'll probably be like, oh, you gotta play like this one scene.
Yeah, it'll probably have a good demo scene, I would imagine. Yeah,
absolutely.
I just never really got into like Elvis. Like Elvis is like this weird time period where like I never really have listened to any of his music at all. Like the most like that I've like really encountered Elvis in my life is from Forrest Gump.
I was gonna say.
And Tom Hanks. Last one.
Okay.
The Black Phone.
Yes, Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke is like a serial killer.
Yes, directed by the director of the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
We talked about this last time, I feel like.
Yeah. That comes out June 24th.
Supernatural
horror, right? There's a disconnected phone.
Yeah.
And the kid who's been kidnapped can hear the voices of the previous victims through the phone.
Right.
And also his sister has like dreams, like premonitions that help her try to find him.
Sounds like a Stephen King novel.
Yeah. The cover, like the poster, looks like a Stephen King movie. Maybe it is a Stephen King novel.
I mean, Ethan Hawke, he can be scary when he wants to.
Yeah. So I'll probably see that too, even though I said I hate horror, but it looks interesting. So, that's all I got.
All right, I'm done. I'm out.
Hey, Peace. If you made it this far, you might as well subscribe.
Do it. You know what it is. Do it.